with some interactive content. I posted a Q&A on Instagram asking some of our followers what we should discuss.
You're not going to introduce.
Oh, dang. Everybody know my sissy, TT girl. This is Tiara. Give them your Instagram name.
T Hair Beauty. Hey. On IG. I know I do hair. I do wigs and all of that. Getting everybody out the way.
Yeah, so we did some question answer on Instagram and just different topics that we should talk about during our vlog. So let's start with the first question. So I said, what topics should we discuss on our next vlog? So one person said, what does it mean to be submissive in a relationship/marriage? You can do someone that's single versus me, I'm married. You guys know that. We can do what she thinks submissive is in a relationship and what I think is submissive, and then what Carl thinks. So Tia, if you want to start, what do you think it means to be submissive in a relationship?
To be submissive.
Today.
If you remember being in a relationship.
Oh. So.
You know, you hard on the fellas, man.
So, hey.
All right.
I try to give them a little leeway, but they just, you know. Being submissive in a relationship, that's hard to comment on for real, only because a relationship is not a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You shouldn't be submissive in a relationship. Like, that's basically something that you do when you get married. Like,
agreed.
People out here tripping for real.
Playing house.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's like you giving them a preview and they don't have nothing to kind of like
look forward
to. Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like in a relationship, ain't no need to necessarily be submissive. You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't. Like, yeah, you can make your man feel like he the man, but not like, oh, whatever you say is law. Like, nah, that's not how it works for me.
Okay.
So my wife.
So I think being submissive in a relationship is. Why he gotta be doing all that? Why? Like, just let me talk. I think being submissive in a relationship doesn't necessarily have to be one thing. Like, say, you know, it's kind of like a compromise in some ways. Like, say if Carl says, hey, you know, I want X, Y, and Z to be done. Say I want Kari or Kai, which is our children. Like, I want them to do this. And I might not necessarily agree with it, but because he is the head of household, he's the leader of our unit, which is our family, I'll... Explain to it. Then I will, you know, submit in those ways. There's many different ways to submit. You know what I mean? And it's not always one-sided. It's not always I submit to him. It should be, you know, in my opinion, it should be both ways. It shouldn't be, you know, I don't feel like no one will want like a yes person, like a yes man or a yes woman all the time. They want somebody that has a mind of their own, you know, that makes their own decisions and things like that. That might intrigue somebody. So that's my take on it. What do you think?
Me at 33, well, basically 34. I'm like less than 2 months, right? But me at 33, understanding myself more as a man and knowing that it's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. It's not just being like telling people like, yeah, I'm a man, yada yada. Mm-hmm. Like, it's things that you really never know about yourself until you put in those situations where being a man really counts. So she said like, I'm a provider, the head of the household, those kind of things. And it's not to undermine her role. Like, I'm gonna tell you one thing, I do believe in gender roles. We have this conversation. People take it as a negative a lot, and it's like, well, it's things that my wife, like, we're not equal. We'll never be equal. It's things that she does, childbirth, breastfeeding, period, all those things that women, you know, go through physically, emotionally, mentally, and what they bring to the table that men can't do. And men do things that women can't do. It's just, you know, the laws of nature. We were born differently. Like, yes, we're human, but we're two different beings. So I don't like they're their own. They're their own, like, they got their own superpowers that we don't have. And we have, let's say we have super strength, that's physical, you know what I'm saying? Or mental, whereas y'all have strength that's physical in your own ways that, men, like, we whiny little babies at times. Like, get a cut or your back, like my back hurt right now, you know, but they go through, you know, menstrual cycles with cramps and, you know, they pregnant and they carrying lives inside of them. Then they push that life out. So my take on it has been 33 years of like seeing two single parents for the most part. Many examples of men. So you have, you know, the providers, or you have the lovers, or you have the too soft, too strong, overbearing, not, you know, assertive enough. So a lot of those are me boiled into one to be the best husband I can be, best father I can be in our unit. And we all had these conversations daily. So being submissive, that's the question, right?
Yeah.
So being submissive in a relationship is really communication, understanding your role that you play. So if you want to be the man, be the man. It's not no, man, you just gotta roll with me. I'm trying. Like, you can't try, you gotta do. That's how I feel. Men do, boys try. And I'm gonna leave that at that. So you want your woman to submit, be a man.
Don't think she gonna submit to some bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? Be a man.
Okay. So the next question was, how do you make time for your spouse with children and work?
Let me start that off. So living in Florida, I worked at night. So during the day, I was with the kids all the time. And I used to always try to get her to just like, either just take off a bunch of times or quit your job. I take care because I wanted her to be able to experience what I was experiencing with the kids, like being there throughout the day, not just coming home and then you putting them to bed when you get home because you tired, you was working all day. And then I come home, you know what I'm saying? I come home, y'all knocked out. So that's only maybe like 3 hours of time that you were spending the day. And I'm like, you know, I definitely felt like you needed more us time. Cause you what did I say the other day? We so focused on being business men and women and providing and parents, and we forget to be husband and wife. So we definitely make time for dates. Like, I'll never stop dating my wife. I tell her she's beautiful every day. I mean, but it's real because I know some men don't, they get like we do get comfortable. By nature, men get comfortable unless they chasing a dream or something. But with they women, we get too comfortable, man. We, you know what I'm saying, you stop complimenting them, but let them put on a little weight, or they not keeping themselves up the way you first met them. We ready to cry.
Quick to be like, hey.
You know what I'm saying? But you stop doing the things that got me.
Exactly.
Because you feel like you got me now, you're not trying to keep me. So
it's a two-way street.
Yeah, let's hear it from the woman's standpoint then.
See you on that.
Making time for your spouse. Well, I ain't got no spouse, so you know what I'm saying. But being a single parent, I can say that I don't think like you said that you should ever stop dating your spouse. But it's kind of hard to, you know, juggle both roles. Yeah, to juggle both roles because you're worried about, you know, being a parent, your kids' needs, especially when they're young. I'm like, now Ryan is 8 years old. She can kind of, you know, kind of sort of do what she need to do. So I think when you have younger kids, yes, it is hard, but you do have to make time. And I feel like a lot of relationships lack in that first year or so that the children are born, because it's like you on mommy mode, daddy mode, like making sure, but y'all don't have time for each other.
Right.
And so then that's when you start to see the problems. Like the problems arise.
Yeah, they start blowing you a little bit. Even little stuff that probably was already happening when you didn't have kids. You just seeing them more because you're probably irritated, you probably lacking
so
sex.
Added
you know, in the bedroom, you probably ain't doing much. So you kind of
every little thing.
I remember Everybody Hates Chris, and that mom, like Tisha Arnold, used to always make sure her husband got, you know, got what he needed first. So it's like in a relationship, like they ask, like, who do you feed first? Do you feed the kids first, or do you feed your husband? If you, I mean, or vice versa, like, you know what I'm saying? But who do you feed? If I'm the head of the household, do you make sure that I'm okay so I can continue, or do you take care of the kids first? And people have differing, you know, thoughts on that, but a lot of women were like, no, you feed that man first because he going to work, especially if you home.
Yeah.
You feed your man all day. He got to have the fuel to be able to take care of the household, and then you feed them kids. Like, you give him the big piece of chicken and, you know, his portion.
Shit, you done made enough for everybody in the house anyway, so why wouldn't you?
You know,
it's like, it ain't like, oh, dang.
It ain't like they ain't gonna have none. Just make sure he get his plate first. That's understandable. For me, I feel like a lot of people don't use their resources. Like, for example, we have our sister. Well, I have 4 sisters, you know, and some people, they get so caught up in, you know, life, they don't use their resources. Like, I'll say, hey, T, you mind watching, you know, Kari and Kai while me and Carl go on a date? Even if it's an hour, just us going to go get something to eat, or us going to go down to the harbor to grab a drink.
Let's go to Target. That's a date.
Yeah, anything.
We went to Marshall today.
Anything where it's just you, the both of you, just you two alone, you know, no kids. And I say for a lot of newlyweds or, you know, newly engaged or whatever, couples, I say spend your time now before you have children.
Ain't no rush. Trust, it ain't no rush to have these kids.
Not, you know,
pushing 40.
Yeah, well,
right.
We talking, but she said the younger newlywed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like if you have the time and, you know,
at least
just spend time with them, do things, travel,
man.
Do whatever you need to do. We still, you know, do that. That's not gonna stop, but. You know, just spend that time with those people, because once you have kids, once you have, you know, more distractions, it fades if you don't keep it up.
That's
so I would definitely say to do all the things that you want to do, go out there and date. We didn't have that luxury. I was actually a month pregnant at my wedding, and I didn't even know. So we ended up having Kari 9 months later, and, you know, I mean, we still dated. We still date now to this day, like you said, but it's just enjoy the time together with your spouse before you know,
even if you just gotta put the kids to bed and sneak downstairs and cuddle up on the couch, like, it's things that you can do that, you know, it don't gotta be lavish all the time, or it don't gotta be what you think.
Right.
It's lavish, like the simple things.
Exactly.
Man.
Netflix and chill. Like, sometimes he'll be like, oh, you want to go downstairs and watch a movie? Like, yeah, we'll go watch a movie instead of going out to the movies. That way, you know, the kids are still around, but we'll still have our
Save that $30, put it towards a plane ticket.
Exactly. So that ties into our next question, actually. How do you budget for trips and leisure time? So, I guess I can start
I just know how to make the money.
Yeah, I'm the booker. I'm the one who goes and books all our trips. So if you see us going on trips, I'm booking it. I know, I was scratching my arm too. You know, I feel like traveling is essential for anyone. You know what I mean? Even if it's, you know, you're taking road trips for people that don't fly, or, you know, going on cruise ships or whatever, however you have to get there, it is essential. It literally is like a rejuvenator. Yeah. To me, I feel like when we went off to London, like, you know, we were there for almost 2 weeks. It was a refresher. You know, when we went to Jamaica to go see Carl's dad and, you know, just relax, even though we were at a resort, it was a refresher. Like, it you know, if you have goals or you have inspirations, things like that, I feel like in our case, it boosts that. You know, it
definitely got to recharge your batteries, man. And then you come back and you feel like, I'm a creative, right? We're all creatives and we're all entrepreneurs. And sometimes you get overwhelmed because you don't have the luxury of having a steady paycheck. And, you know, it's not necessarily the money, but it's feeling that security and knowing that, like, I'm all booked up because you're a hairdresser. I'm all booked up because we got gigs. Like, we have meetings every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, us three. And the three of us I should say. We talk about our week, like our previous weeks, maybe even just like how the days are going, and we talk about mental health and how we feeling, like we really put an emphasis on sitting down and meeting. Like it's necessary, it's pivotal right now.
For building our businesses.
Yeah, and just because we related, so it's like who are supposed to be our biggest supporters? We around each other every day, so
get to bounce ideas off each other.
Facts.
Yeah,
and all of that.
Yeah.
So budgeting, I mean,
I feel like honestly, since I'm the one that's really in charge of the budget, I feel like if
finance me?
No, no,
should have been
health information. But I feel like when it's coming up to like a trip, we'll not eat out for a week or, anything to save $1. So we'll meal prep for ourselves since, I meal prep anyway for my clients. So I'll meal prep for us for the week. That way we don't spend anything extra.
I won't buy anything for her or the kids.
Yeah, like Carl won't go and he's like very spontaneous with that stuff. So he'll just, not go buy 3 pairs of shoes at a time.
Four. I had to buy Kaka's on shoes.
So, that type of thing. And then also, I search for the best deal. Yeah. Nowhere that we've been, I don't think I've paid $2,000 for all of us to go anywhere at all. So, that's another thing. And then we time stuff out. Like we paid for our August trip in May, and then we paid for our Jamaica trip back in July, that we went to in November. So just timing stuff out, and most of the stuff that we do is all inclusive, so we don't have to worry about necessarily spending money for food when we get there, because that's what gets pricey in drinks. So I would definitely suggest all inclusive anything.
So y'all basically don't procrastinate.
No, we don't wait till the last minute.
I kind of wing it, and not even so much as wing it, but because my job, I feel like I'm like kind of like a slave to the chair. Like I want to be there for my clients. I don't want to be like always off or Right. So mine is kind of like somebody say, "Oh, we doing this week," and I'd be like, "All right, let me check my book. If I don't got nobody, all right, boom, I'm gonna close my book. Boom, all right." Dang, did I pay this bill? Did I pay that? I got enough to go? All right, bet. I'm going. Like, it's never like, I want to go to such and such. Now
for your 30th.
May is a different story.
Exactly.
Like, I'm planning now. Like, I'm up here like, all right, this got to go into savings this week because by such and such date, I need to be paying on this trip. I need to make sure that everything is straight. Like, I ain't last minute. But normally, it's like last minute. Like, all right, bet. Y'all trying to go to Miami? All right. Did you get your flight? No, I ain't get my flight yet, but I'm going. 2 weeks before. God dang, why these flights so high? Because you ain't paid for them. But I didn't necessarily know that I was going. I probably told y'all I was going, and I didn't know I was going.
Man,
and there are a lot of options, too, out there that do like 0% financing. Like, say you don't have it up front.
Now,
you can go on like bookit.com or something like that, or something like that, where they're not charging you like crazy fees to pay monthly on your trip, and it eliminates the chunk of money being gone at one time, and it gives you something to look forward to. Like, you're paying on something like, oh my God, I can't wait to this date because I know like after this my shit is, I shouldn't cuss on here, huh? My trip is paid in full, and like, it just gives you something to look forward to. So definitely, search for the best deals, try to plan things out ahead of time, and of course, if you can't, trying to find the best deal is a better option. We've never done like an Airbnb type situation. Well, actually, let me not lie. We did do an Airbnb when we went to Miami once. But we were already living down there, so we didn't have to fly to Miami. We just drove a couple hours to Miami and got an Airbnb.
But it's just ways. Like, don't ever just tell yourself that you can't.
You can't,
like, y'all love to go pop bottles. You
have one life.
To buy every Jordan.
One life to live.
Just for 1 month. Don't
Don't buy Jordans.
Don't do any of the leisure activities that.
Don't go out popping bottles. Don't go out eating out.
Something
you know, so many people eat out, and that's where our business comes in as far as like doing meal preps and things like that. You do not understand how much money you spend unless you sit down and think like,
just
hey,
from Friday to
how
Sunday,
much? Yeah, you can go out. You can go out to dinner Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You're like, wow, I just spent about $300. $300 just on those 3 days. So what about the rest of the week? Yeah. You're out lunchtime. I forgot my lunch. Boom, I'm here. So meal prepping, which is a service that we provide, meal prepping is like the best choice possible, really. Like
I like
plug.
Yeah, you gotta plug yourself if you don't plug nobody else. But and you guys can follow my business page if you guys want meal preps. That is at L's X Kitchen on Instagram, and the link is in my bio. Okay, so next question.
Yeah. I don't want to make this too long.
Balancing time between both families on holidays. So I was being funny on Instagram, and I responded to this person and said, whichever has the best vibes and food. No, but it is a good question. That's honest though, really. Like wherever you get the best vibe. Honestly, like, and you work that out with your partner, in my opinion. You'll work that out with them and say, hey, you know, where do you want to spend Christmas, or where do you want to spend the New Year? Where do you want to spend Thanksgiving? Any, like, major holiday or whatever. It is kind of hard to try to balance, like, hey, we'll do, I remember our first Christmas married, we did half the time at my parents' house, and then we went to his parents' house. And we did half and half, so...
And this is what I'm not going to be political at all. I'm going to just say I like to be around all my family, extended and all. So, you know, I don't just wait until holidays. And, like, none of that stuff matters to me. As long as everybody's good, I'm good. Like, when you start, like, making things harder than what it needs to be, because some people expect, you know, so they have expectations, and they don't let you know their expectations, so they get disappointed. And I don't want to disappoint anybody, but as long as my family's good, meaning my wife and my kids, I don't care what other family members we around. And that's just the truth. Like, I don't care. As long as they happy, I'm happy. We don't really got to be around anybody for any day. So a holiday ain't going to change nothing. If the vibe ain't right, we just might not show up. So,
my comment, whichever has the best vibes and food. Period.
Which might just be our family. We might have the best vibe and food. So, that might not see us.
This next one, guys, I was very like, whoa, hold on, no. Cursing and yelling at your spouse.
Yeah, we don't do
I said, my response to the person, I'm not going to let you know who it was, but OMG, this is damaging. Please stop immediately. Okay? And that's not me being funny, guys, because we've been there, me and my husband, when we weren't married. Just that, like, it gets so out of hand when you're yelling and you're, you know, screaming at a person. It just gets crazy, honestly. It does. It gets to a level where, at this point, it's not about what's right. You're trying to figure out who's right. And that's not what it should be. It should always be you both assessing the situation, saying, okay, who is right really does not matter. What's right? What exactly is right? It's not about you trying to prove a point. Because usually when you're arguing, it's that you're trying to prove a point. I think that it's very damaging on a relationship to argue. Yes, you're not going to agree about things all the time, and it's okay to fuss, but to yell, that's a whole nother moment.
Everything should always be a conversation.
It's okay to disagree.
Never an argument, a conversation. Yeah. You can agree to disagree.
Fact.
You gotta always
and just go away.
Right,
and we do that frequently. So it's not always gonna be, you know, easy to do. I don't want you guys to think that, but also it shouldn't be hard to the point where you're disrespecting your significant other, or whether you're married or you're in a relationship. Because if you're in a relationship and you're doing it, you really need to, reassess what's going on. But I thought that was a really good, it really wasn't a question. It's kind of like they're telling me what's happening in their relationship. Cursing is totally out of the picture, because that, if you're just yelling, that's, I don't want to use
tone. Watch your tone.
That's something that you can come back from if you're just, get too heated and you start to yell. But you cursing somebody out, I mean, come on.
Girl, shut the...
So that's a no from us. I think that's unanimous. If that's happening, I would try to digress the situation, not escalate it. If the person is, screaming and that's not something that you want to do, remove yourself. It sounds easy, but it's something that needs to be done so that it doesn't continue.
And the N-word is a curse word in my book. Don't call me the N-word.
Yeah.
Like, when you, got an issue with me, don't call me the N-word. That's like calling me the B-word.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you calling the B-word, that's just totally
exactly.
I don't argue.
There's no point, really. There's really no point.
Walks away and talks some shit.
You can agree to disagree, though.
I'm say what I gotta
you
say.
can.
I'm out.
But I feel like that's healthy. Agreeing to disagree is a healthy way to express your feeling. You're not always gonna be like, oh yeah, babe, you're right. If you some people have strong feelings, strong beliefs, and if you don't feel like the person is right, or not necessarily right, but if you don't think that they're understanding where you're coming from, there's no need to get right, correct. There's no need to get mad. They don't get it, and you gotta respect that and just keep it moving. Because if not, it's gonna end up in the cursing and the yelling. So I think that was unanimous. No cursing and yelling at your spouse. Gosh. Okay. How many times, the next question is, how many times a week should you and your spouse have sex? This is a question that I knew was gonna come. This is a deeper question. I feel
like how they said spouse, right?
Or you and your spouse. Yeah. So to tap in on this can be a very sensitive subject. I'm definitely glad that this question was asked. I feel like, well, since you're in such a hurry, you say what you want to say. Go ahead. What you got to say about it?
What do I don't want no more kids. So that's a luxury at this point. Cause
Damn.
I don't shoot no blanks. I'm 3 for 3. We lost one. Not ashamed to say that, not hurt to say that anymore, but like we lost one, but I'm 3 for 3. So I put numbers on the board, and I don't want them numbers to go up right now. So with that being said, for us, even though we still do, we still do, but it's not as frequent as we understand. Nah, for real, we understand ourselves more than just like when we first met. Like when we first met and we first decided that we were comfortable enough.
It's never been that though with us.
But I'm saying just think about how frequent it was in the first 5 years opposed to the last 5 years. And the last 5 years, we actually were working on building something long lasting. Like the first 5 years, you dipping and dabbling, whatever, I said something today. I'm not gonna repeat that on this channel, but you kind of have no expectation of when you first meet somebody. So if you are intimate with that person on that level, it's just physical. It's not an emotional thing. And then once you start building, it becomes emotional, and that's when the kids come about, in my opinion. And we're pretty fertile over here. So
call me Myrtle.
It's a case by case basis. Like I ain't gonna tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing. If you a jackrabbit, hey, flourish, young king and queen.
Tara, what you think?
How many times should you and your spouse
A week.
A week?
A week. I'm pretty busy.
I mean,
I can fit
people
you
make
in
time
April.
for what they want.
Exactly.
At this point in life. So I feel like
Exactly.
if that's what you want, then that's what you're going to do. But I do feel like that is a conversation that you and your spouse should have, because if one person like,
It's
oh, well, I'm
expecting
good
something.
off once a week. You know what I'm saying? The other one is like, sis, I'm going to need about 5 days out of these 7 days. It's like, y'all got to find a way to compromise whatever y'all feel.
Maybe meet in the middle
You know
at
what I'm
3.
saying? Because what I've noticed is, like, if he ready and she not with it, then it's like, for what? Like, I'm just literally in my mind, I'm gonna be like, okay, when is this gonna be over with? I'm ready to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, for real. And I don't know, but and depending on how many years, because it's like, further down the line, y'all know each other. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying, what gets you to what point and da-da-da-da. So it's kind of like a rush job. All right, I got about
come on, real quick, come on.
2.5 minutes for real, I got for you. And then it's like, some days you like, all right, bet. How many rounds? All right, bet. But like, you gotta have that conversation. Me, I'm single, so I'm celibate.
See, for me, I'm gonna say, for me, I feel like before, that was a thing for me. Like, I felt like, dang, like, I kind of want to be having sex more than this. Like, but, I mean, I feel like after you get to know your spouse and, like, you kind of learn their ways. You learn their body. You can look at them and tell that they tired. Like, you're not about to expect somebody to be, like, fully ready for you and they done had, like, a long day.
This is my wife talking to you after 3, about to be 4 years of marriage. And 10 years
I wasn't as
knowing
understanding.
her man,
I'll say
right?
that. I'm trying to own my ish right
Yeah,
now.
no, I'm just saying, like, you grow. Like, my point was going to be you grow over time. So you start understanding one another. You said that, like, you start understanding and paying attention to signs or recognizing certain things without it having to be said anymore. So, you know, sometimes, you know, things get hectic. And I might be pitching a tent. I might roll over and she just appeases me for the month because she knows, you know, a little hip twirl and a swivel and I'm out of there, you know, like, and I'm out of there. But it's just to say, like, maybe in the past she might have just been with it, like, come on, all right, come on. Whereas now we got 2 kids and we really grinding right now. It's like, who's even thinking about it as much anymore? And that's just the honest truth. It's not to say we're not thinking about it, but it's like, who's even just focused on that anymore? Like, we connected on a different level now. Like, it's definitely, you know, more spiritually, like, synced. And I don't mean, you know, religion. I'm talking about, like, literally our spirits are, like, intertwined. So, you know, when they say, like, you start a sentence and that person finishes it, it's like life. Like, I start something and she can finish it for me because we just understand that, like, if I bring the bacon to the table, well, no swine. But if I bring the fish to the table or the chicken, she gonna cook it. And that's just, you know, the best analogy I can come up with is, like, you know, women definitely have that knack for turning, you know, what we bring to the table into a feast. Like, that's just their gift, you know. So definitely she's taught me how to pay attention. I never used to pay attention to women, like, and their needs. It was all about me. I'm married now, though. Them days is over. So you better tell them. You better tell them I pays attention.
Okay. So the next question is, how do you compromise when it comes to personal time outside of the marriage? So I guess this is a marriage question. I'm going to say that everyone needs their time to be them. Whether it is, you know, with the boys or you go out with your girls or your sisters, like, you need your time to be you. You need your time to be that person that you were before you met your spouse. When I say that, not the person before, like, out yet. I'm just saying, like, the person that you are when they're not around, you know, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Just like just certain things that you're more comfortable doing, or
let your hair down.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, let your hair down. Just have that time to be just you and not you and your spouse.
It's something. I just went out last night with my boys, and
I think it's needed.
It's definitely needed. And I'm a person that doesn't even like to go anywhere anymore. So, my thing is, I almost stayed home. Because
and he's like, babe,
I'm so protective
I can stay home.
them.
I know you're tired. You have the kids all week. And I'm like, no, go. You never go anywhere, really. So unless it's with us or you trying to do something with us or it's work.
And that conversation has changed. That dialogue has changed over the years because it used to be you always out. I used to always be, you dipping and dabbling, like you running the streets. But I don't have anything out there that I desire. You know what I'm saying? Everything I want is here in the house. So I don't really feel the need to go out. I'm not a drinker like that. So like I rarely ever really drink. I don't really enjoy being in the clubs anymore. That's not a social setting where I can really bond with the fellas in the way that I deem as, how I want to bond with them. Because I've been gone for 5 years. Like, I left our comfort zone and went to Florida, and it was just us. It was just a few of us, and, we made a life down there. But it definitely is, different. So when you come back and you expect to just pick up where you left off, like, you leave and then you come back and all my homies is married with kids. So we have something in common. So me being at the bar or me feeling like I want to go to the club, and like, that's not us, like, building together. I'm not saying that I wouldn't go. I'm saying that that's not what I would prefer. So if that's the case, I'm just not gonna go, and I just stay in the house and I holler at them like, come to the crib. But yeah,
I'm gonna touch on it real quick from a single person point of view, like, and not even just not a single person, but like if you were in a relationship, just like not a marriage, but like just a relationship. When it comes to personal time outside, I feel like that is also necessary because like being up under somebody 24/7, it's like you kind of sort of, I'm not gonna say you get tired of each other, but it's like it's a lot. Like y'all need your personal space. But what I will say is that you have to be mindful of the company that you keep, like the company that you're around. Like you can't expect me to feel comfortable with you going out with such and such and such and such, and I know he doing such and such, like he cheating on his girlfriend, or he in a club every night doing this, or she's doing this, and you just don't even say nothing to your friend, and she out here living foul. You know what I'm saying? If that's who you want to hang out with, no, I'm not gonna be comfortable with you going out with that person. Yeah, I'm gonna have something to say if you like, oh, we about to go to such and such house and hang out, and I know that's the hangout spot, and they be having joints pull up. No, I'm not comfortable with that. So you just got to be mindful, and also, but you do have to be secure in your relationship. You got to be secure in your relationship and like know your role. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be insecure and think every time she going out, she gonna give her number out, or she gonna be talking to a dude, or he gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like he going to the strip club, so he gonna get a lap dance. I mean, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not married. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just got to be secure in your stuff, and you can't make your significant other feel uncomfortable.
So look,
it's a respect thing.
So then that segues into this next question. Introducing another person into the bedroom.
Different strokes for different folks.
I ain't giving my strokes out to different folks.
I ain't with none of
them. With that one.
I be saying it up front. I ain't with it.
I'm cool. I never had a fantasy of like a threesome or, you know what I'm saying? Like I never had that fantasy. So I don't know. Like it just didn't do anything for me. And there's certain people that, that might be their thing. But I feel like you owe me a beer.
I think that before you're married, if you want to go and explore that side of yourself, by all means. But when you're in a union with someone, with one other person, I ain't married to nobody else. So you ain't coming in this world, period.
So my thing is, like, I read a lot of texts, right? A lot of books. We all do. So I do understand, like, polygamy is a thing. But polygamy is supposed to have a purpose.
Exactly.
So if you do introduce someone else into the relationship And you know, the bedroom is a part of the relationship. Like, it has to have a purpose. Like, is it to
Procreate,
reproduce? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Are you reproducing, or is it just to get your joint wet and roll out? Like, it's selfishness and it's righteousness in a sense. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to make sense. Just make it make sense. That's all that's all I can say about that. Like, from a man's standpoint, I don't really have the desire to be, you know, like trying to, like, it's hard enough work. Not even hard in a bad way. Like, it's a lot of work that I put into making sure that I continue to learn my wife, right? So in the bedroom is not even like it's no exception. Like, you really do learn different parts of your spouse every day, every time, like every intimate moment, the way you might kiss them, the way you hug them. You learn different things if you're paying attention. So to add someone to that you know, that equation, and we not in that lifestyle, that you know, that polygamous lifestyle, like, I don't really feel like the need. And that's just, I'm not selfish anymore. So, you know, I'm not thinking about me, but I just wouldn't even do it anyway, even when I was just all about me and pleasing myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing everything to please my needs opposed to worrying about a woman. So it's just...
So there's one thing. I was listening to an interview on the Breakfast Club with, I want to say this was last year sometime, when Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor was on there. And she was talking about how she, you know, her and Iman, basically they be having little joints. Like, they come in the bedroom with them.
I don't remember that one. But yeah, go ahead.
And I just feel like, for one, if that's something mutual, that, you know, because I can't say, like, I just know for me, as a married woman, I wouldn't want, you know, another female in the room. And a lot of people have mixed feelings about, like, how people say, I always see, like, little memes or whatever, they say, like, oh, you want a threesome with a woman as a male, but you don't want her bringing another male home trying to have a threesome, like, right?
But
exactly. See, but what's the difference? But it's all goes back to it all goes back to these, like, what's it called?
I won't look at you as a woman after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we, like, in my head, it's like, that's just the society, like, in the culture I grew up in. It's like, two women, you still look at me as a man. Like, you be like, oh my gosh, you just...
They look at you as the man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if it's two women, right?
Fact.
They both gonna look at you like, you just did that to both of us? If it's, you know what I'm saying? If it's good. If it's two dudes...
Look at me like, you let them do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have
both of them do that?
One here and one there, like... What? You know,
happening here?
Do you really get anything out of it? Because men are so aggressive sometimes. Like, they not making love to you. You know what I'm saying?
In my mind, it'd probably be more of a competition.
You know what I'm saying?
Who did it best?
But they wouldn't be trying to. They would be doing it to, like, almost like harm you in a sense. You know, like, they're not doing it to make you feel good.
Yikes.
Listen. I'm just saying.
But, like, see, for me,
because it's a
like,
competition.
I'm not attracted to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, some women are. Like, some women, they are attracted to women, so they with all of that.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not, and I can't picture myself doing nothing to another woman in that type of way. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, some people be like, oh, well, she could just do it to you. Well, he could just do it to me. Like,
that's
you know what I'm saying?
Like, if it's not like polygamy, and then polygamy ain't threesome. Like, polygamy is literally, I'm with you, and then I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? In a physical standpoint. So it's selfish.
You get it confused. Yeah. And they all go in there together.
Because you pervert everything to make it fit your needs. You know what I'm saying? Your wants. So I don't know. But all these questions was real good questions. We're gonna do another one again real soon.
So
this is interesting. Like, to really have an open dialogue, and maybe we'll just interchange it. Maybe I won't even be in it, and it'll be a ladies panel. And, you know, like, it's good to just have these convos. Like, people don't like talking anymore. Like, we really need to do. And yes, it's in front of camera. Like, I don't know who's gonna be watching this. Hopefully, it's a million views. Like, let's get it to a million views. 10,000 thumbs up. Yeah, for sure. Like this video, like, comment, subscribe, because we got more more content coming.
So if you guys have any more questions that we can do another Q&A, please drop them in the comments below. Yeah.
That's gonna be it. That's it for me, fam. I got nothing.
Follow me on Instagram at t.hair.abeauty. If you're in the DMV area, go ahead and get your wig done, your hair slayed, color, blowouts, all that.
We're gonna link everything in the description.
I got you.
Yes, all our links will be in the description.
We just out here trying to grind. It's grind season. 2020 is our year.
It's gonna be a lot of 20K months, 20K months.
I'm telling you.
Just wait on it. We almost did for December, but we're not gonna talk about
working in silence.
We're gonna talk about money.
Stay low. Stay
all money
down.
in. That's
stay
the way
down,
to go.
Come up.
Man. Last time that I checked, I'm out.
Like, comment, subscribe.